Right, so the first window that's going in is here, driver's side. It's a bonded window, should cover all of that panel. I'm going to try that for size shortly, but I'm sure it's right. I'll just show you that on the inside. Right, so fitting these windows should be relatively straightforward in that they're designed for the van specific, and it should fit in this panel. Okay, around there, right up to there. So the first job is to mark that out. The way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to use a sharp screw and punch a couple of points along the top and bottom and side. I'm going to use a hole saw to put a hole in each corner, and then basically just join the dots up on the outside. I'm going to cut it from the outside, one because it's easier, you're not dealing with all this, you've got a flat edge or a relatively flat edge on the outside, so I'm going to cut it from the outside. And also cutting it from the outside will bring a bit more of the chaff from the jigsaw, which is what I'm cutting it with, to the outside. Going to use a grinder, angle grinder, to take these off, just to make it easier for the jigsaw to get through. I might even try and do some of the straight lines along the bottom and whatever with that as well. I'll see how that goes, but I'm thinking probably the jigsaw for that. So that's the first window. We're doing that one first because that's not an opening window either, so it's a straightforward smooth window all the way around. And then this panel's got to come off here. While that window is drying, I'll take this panel off here and we'll start on cutting that one out. That's in the door. I'll go around the side, show you that. So yeah, so that one is going in the panel there, and that's an opening window. So the only difference on fitting in the opening window is that because it opens, it has a rain channel in. So there are 2 or 3 channels that will sort of run down the van, here, 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 to take the rain down. You can see it's quite wet. It has been absolutely pouring down again last night, this morning, but got a perfect blue sky. So yeah, that's the job for today. If that's of interest, stay with me. So from the outside, this is what we get. I know a lot of people drill the holes, join the holes up. I just thought I'd try this. A little bit less work, and possibly a little bit less finishing to do, not leaving such a rough edge as you would with a drill. I'm going to take the struts out inside with a still saw, and I might even do the straight cuts with the still saw, angle grinder with the angle grinder, do the straight lines I think with the angle grinder from the inside, and then just come back to the outside to do the curves. Okay, yeah, so as you can see here, I did decide to do the straight lines, if you like, with the angle grinder. And it just seemed, while I was in there doing it, to be quicker and easier. then came back to the outside with the jigsaw and finished off around the corners, and that, I have to say, worked very well. Very pleased with that. Did just apply a couple of layers of masking tape to the base plate of the jigsaw, just to help as to not scratch the paintwork on the van, and used a fine tooth, small, thin metal cutting blade for that, and as I say, that worked very well. Okay, so you can clearly see there be the window. Right, let's just show you the next stage or two. So having cut it out, the next stage was to just sand and file any rough bits off the edges there. Now this van is double skinned, so there's the outside skin and then there's this beam, so there's the inside skin as well. When it is that, the trim goes over the inside trim and pushes down like that, so that trims it up from the inside. The black paint you can see there is this, the primer, which is used for installing the windows. So that's just ideal just to apply to the bare metal. The next that's my next job. So with the primer, installing the windows, comes this glass wipe, primer wipe as it says, and this little sort of cotton bud for applying it. You put it on with that rather than a paintbrush. So clean down the side of the van and the window where the primer's running. So I want to run the primer around the edge of where the window's going, so all around there, all across the top and down the other side there, and then in the same place on the window, so it primes both surfaces prior to adding the adhesive. So that's the next stage. Okay, so the nozzle that they provide you has this V cut out in it and this little plastic guide that needs to be cut off. That's if you were putting the adhesive right at the side of the glass and you use that as a guide. Obviously we're putting it further into the glass, so that needs to be cut off. And I did see a little tip from somebody I follow on YouTube to cut a little bit more out of the V, so I may just do that as well. I'm just going to cut not a lot, just a smidgen more, couple of mil out of the bottom of that V, just to give the adhesive a little bit higher point there when it's applied. So that's just a little tip for that. Well, I'm going to say that applying that was really difficult. That's the mastic in place. I did have it in a bowl of hot water prior. Maybe I'd let the water get too cold. That was really hard work to get that out, but there it is. There's the bead ram completed. Next stage, stick it in the window. So this is applying the mastic to the second window. On this occasion, I can't emphasize enough, we put the mastic in a bowl of boiling water and top that up 2 or 3 times over a 10-15 minute period to keep it really warm, and it came out so much easier. Seen some reviews online and things, people saying it was solid in the tube, they couldn't get it out. I promise you that it was such hard work on that first one. I was nearly crying with the effort to squeeze the stuff out, but had to get it out once I'd started. It was so difficult. This, by comparison, is so much easier, so that's definitely one to be aware of. So there we go, it's in. Couldn't film that. Lynn is somewhat camera shy, so didn't want to be on the film, which is fair enough. Got to respect that. Basically all we did was lift it, push it into place. The most important thing is to get it lined up with this top piece of bodywork, which we've done, and the tape is just to hold it up there so it doesn't sag as it's curing. It sticks very quickly. You haven't got a lot of wiggle room or anything once it's on there, but just line it up and get it on, and we are very pleased with that. I'll just show you from the other side. So there we go. Makes a big difference to the van, the amount of light it lets in. Just had a look with the doors closed. Fantastic. So yeah, that's from the inside there, as you can see. So yeah, we're happy with that. Obviously the big test is going to come tomorrow when the storm arrives and we find out whether or not it's leaking. So fingers crossed for that. If you found this useful, if you'd like to see what we get up to next, you haven't already, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the reminder button, and tune into the next video. Thanks for watching. Right, so there we go then, first window in, second window in. Now here's a cautionary tale. As I said, doing this first window, the biggest problem I had was spreading this, the mastic that holds the window in. So I heated it up rather more the second time, left it in a bowl of almost boiling water, and left it in there for about 15 minutes. It came out lovely and warm, as you can imagine, and you've probably just seen the video of that coming out the tube, making it look easy, which in comparison to this window, on that window it was. But there was a problem. This little beauty ran out of mastic about 8 inches from the end. No more. Not enough to complete the job. Now, I've seen a couple of videos where people said, "Oh, look at that! Just finished, just in time, just add enough." And you sort of think, yeah, of course you did. Just add enough. They did just have enough. I didn't have enough. So I started at the top and finished at the bottom. So the extra bit we've done with Sikaflex 122, is it? That we did have, because we didn't have any more of this stuff. So we'll have to see how that goes. So there's a cautionary tale for you. Had we not had the Sikaflex, I don't know what we would have done. We didn't have much choice but to put the window in, really. We got a hole in the side of the van and the rest of the gear on there. That would have been a nightmare. So yeah, that's definitely one to watch. There's a little tip for you. Either get some more of this stuff if you're putting big windows in like this, and this is what they supply you with. There are obviously other makes of this. Whether you get more in a tube or not, I don't know. What's in there? 310 ml. So 310 ml of that wasn't enough when it came out faster and thicker. Of course, the big test for these windows, as I said, is going to be tomorrow. We've got a storm coming through, so I won't end this video now. I'm actually going to come back in the van tomorrow during the storm and see if we have any leaks. I'll bring you back in tomorrow. Okay, so here we go. You join me the morning after the install. A little bit windy, but you can see we've had some rain, so you join me on the moments of truth. Let's have a look and see there we are. Alright, so we left this down on this side just in case we did get a leak. That's all dry. That's all dry. Perfect, happy days. Looks like we've got a good one. Oh dear. Clearly not such a good result this side. Where's that coming in from? There. You can see the drip. I think you can, yeah. Okay, so we have at least one leak on the van there. So not a great result, not what I was hoping for this morning, and that's likely to be the subject of video 2. Bit surprised at that as well, because this window had a hell of a lot of sealant along the top. This is the one where I ran out of sealant before the end. So it's nothing to do with what I've put on there at the bottom, because it's leaking at the top, and the Sikaflex we put down the bottom, somewhere here actually. Yeah, so okay, I think the follow-up video to this is going to be how we fix this. A little bit of research required, and we'll see what we can do. Thanks for tuning into this video. If you've got any suggestions, because this video will be going out in the next day or two, if you've any suggestions as to how we might be able to fix that, then please let me know. If you've noticed anything might have done wrong in the installation, let me know, and we'll see what we can come up with, and see if we can rectify it. It's quite a bad leak by the look of it. Thanks for watching.